Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic computer tomography generations. I am Gauri PS, lecturer, Department of Radiology, Global College of Allied Sciences. So first we are going to look about the introduction. So what is computer tomography? The computer tomography is also known as a computerized axial tomography. That is, it is a medical imaging technique that creates the cross-sectional images of the human body by the use of X-rays and computer processing methods. Its inventions marked an revolution in radiology, that is, by providing a detailed anatomical information that conventional X-ray imaging could not offer. First, let's look about the key inventors. So first is about Sir Godfrey Newborn Hounsfield. He is a British man and is a professional electrical engineer and is a scientist at EMI, that is Electrical and Music Industries. His major contributions were he invented the first practical CT scanner in the late 1960s to the early of 1970s. He designed the system, that is by using a pencil beam X-ray source and a single detector, and he also developed the algorithms for reconstructing images from multiple projections. His historical achievements are the first clinical CT scan of the human brain, which was performed in 1971 at a hospital in London. He was awarded in 1979 a Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, that is, he shared his prize with Alan Cormack and another scientist. Next is about Alan M. Cormack. He's an South African American, that is, he is a physicist and also a profession. His contributions were developing the mathematical foundations of CT reconstruction, resolve the inverse radon transform problem, establishing how to reconstruct a 3D object from multiple X-ray projections. His theoretical work laid the scientific groundwork for the Hounsfield scanner. He was also jointly awarded the 1979 the Nobel Prize for, and he shared his Nobel Prize with Hounsfield. Next is about the development of history. In early ideas, that is, in 1950s, several researchers explored the tomographic concepts, but image quality and mathematics were insufficient for practical implementation. So the idea was dependent on advancements in digital computing. First, they introduced EMI brain scanner, that is the first generation of the CT, that is about computer tomography. It was developed in between the years of 1967 and 1971 by Godfrey and Hounsfield. That is, it uses a pencil X-ray beam, a single detector, and translate rotate scanning pattern. That is, it requires several minutes per slice, but it provided unprecedented details of the brain tissues. First in clinical use in October 1971, the first CT scan of a patient with a suspected brain tumor was taken. What the outcome we found was the scanner was successfully revealed the tumor and it proved that the device's diagnostic valueness and the impact on the medicinal field. That is, CT scanning revolutionized diagnostic imaging by providing the cross-sectional imaging, detection of the soft tissues differences, reduce the need for exploratory surgery, improve the emergency and trauma care, and the today's CT is used for brain, chest, abdomen, cardiac, vascular, and even in the trauma imaging. The next is about the generations. What are the CT generations? There is this computer tomography medical imaging modality that reconstruct the cross-sectional images of the body by the help of X-rays. Since its introduction was in early 70s, that is 1970s, the CT technology has evolved to several generations and each brought out about an advancements in their imaging qualities, acquisition speed, and also based on the patient's comfort. So first generation CT scanners, that is, it has also a characteristics. That is, it was introduced in the year of 1972. That is about the EMI scanner, and is a rotate translate motion and used a single detector and a pencil beam, and also required multiple linear translations which are followed by the small rotational steps. And the advancements are about the high image accuracy for the time and good for head imaging, and also some limitations, that is about a very long scan times, that is up to 5 minutes per slice, and limited to head to CT due to the some of the motion artifacts found. Next is about the second generation CT scanners. The characteristics are, it is a translate rotate system similar to that of first generation. That is, it uses multiple detectors, that is about 5 to 30 detectors were used, and also utilized a fan shaped X-ray beam and has a faster image acquisition. The advantages are, it reduced the scan time, it also improved the resolution and reduction of the patient motion artifacts. But it also has a limitation such as it is slow and more scattered due to the fan beam geography or the geometry. Next is about the third generation CT scanner. This CT scanner characteristics are rotate geometry. That is, both the X-ray tube and the detector array rotate together, where very wide fan beam and large detector array. Its advantages are about much faster scanning, capability for full body imaging, reduced motion artifacts, and it is also a foundation for the modern CT scanners. The limitations are about susceptible to ring artifacts if the single detector malfunctions. If any of the one detector was defect, the total system will be corrupted. Next is about the fourth generation CT scanners. Its characteristics are about rotate fixed design. That is, the X-ray tube will be rotating while the fixed 360-degree detector ring will be remaining stationary. It also has some of the advantages such as it is faster imaging, there will be no ring artifacts because of the detector's calibration differences, and it also has an improved image quality. But it also has some limitations because it is more expensive because of the large detector ring. It has a greater scatter radiation due to the wide ring. Next is about fifth generation CT scanners. Its characteristics are, it is also called as an electron beam CT. That is, it is introduced for ultra fast cardiac imaging system and has no mechanical motion and uses the electrons which is steering to strike the stationary tungsten target rings. Its advantages are, that is, it is very fast, that is about 50 to 100 meters millisecond per slice, and it is also ideal for cardiac imaging. But it has some limitations such as it has a high cost and it has a limited application outside the cardiac studies, and it is mostly replaced by the modern multi-slice CT scanners. Next is about the sixth generation CT scanners. It is also called a spiral CT or helical CT. That has a characteristic such as it is a continuous rotation which is enabled by slip ring technology, and the table will be moving continuously, that is, it will be creating an helical path around the patient. It has some of the advantages such as it is very fast in acquisition, it has a reduced slice misrecognition, and it has a better 3D reconstruction. It also has a limitation such as it requires an advanced interpolation algorithms, and it has a potential for increased radiation dose. Next is about the 7th generation CT scanners, that is also called as multi-slice CT scanners or multi-detector CT scanners, that is called as MDCT. That is, it has a character set as it has a multiple detectors rows in the range of 4, 16, 64, 128, 256, 320 slices. That is, it has a wide coverage area per rotation. It has several advantages such as it is extremely fast in whole body imaging, it has a high resolution isotropic voxels, it has an excellent cardiac and angiography imaging. It also has a limitation such as it has an increased system complexity, higher data storage demand, etc. Next is about the next following up of next generation technologies. That is about photon count CT. That is, it will be using the photon counting detectors instead of the energy integrating detectors. It will be providing a better spatial resolution and contrast. That is, it has a lower radiation dose and is expected to dominate next generation CT systems. Next is about dual source CTs. There are two X-ray tubes and detector arrays and as a super cardiac imaging and dual energy imaging. Then the conclusion is about the CT technology has evolved dramatically from slow single slice first generation machine to modern multi slice and photon counting systems that will be capable of providing fast, high resolution images. So, understanding CT generations helps to appreciate how the technological advances continue to improve the diagnostic accuracy and patient care. So, that's all for today's class. Thank you.